We are back with another episode. Very excited for this one. Tonight we are joined by the Real Talk Pod, King Capers and Terrence Parsons Jr. Very excited to chop it up with these two boys, get to talk a little football, NFL draft, NFL offseason. But first, before we get going, I want to kind of open the floor up to you guys. Talk to us about what the Real Talk Pod is, how it got started, the purpose behind it. Overall, just what are the intentions with your guys' brand and show as a whole?
All right, so it got started. I hit Terrence up earlier in the year. I was just trying. I was like, all right, I'm trying to start a podcast, bro. I've been trying to do this for years, bro, and I need the right partner who knows what they're talking about as far as sports, football, and all of that. So I was like, yo, TP. I know TP be talking his shit, and he know what he talking about. So I made sure I hit him up. I was hounding him until he said, yeah. So that's how it kind of got started. We tried to figure out on a name. We didn't really like. Once he said real talk, I was like, bro, F it, let's just do it, bro. So anyway, the purpose of it, honestly, we're both Cowboys fans. So we talk Cowboys, but we're trying to branch off more into like not everything Cowboys, sometimes basketball, NFL, stuff like that. But yeah, it's coming along, bro.
Bet.
Talk to me with that. You talked about kind of getting the different angles of the content. I want to hear both your guys' perspectives on this because I know it was something Bryce and I got into when we first started. Like it's been fun because you guys share the common passion of the sports and love, but then that kind of put that all together. Now to actually have a product out there, how does that feel personally between you two?
TP?
Yeah, it feels good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like when I say like COVID year. I used to, you know what I mean? I used to watch the West Coast a lot, like Law Nation and all that. I used to watch all those guys, and now like I get to do content with them, so it's pretty cool in that aspect. And you know what I mean? Just me, I just like being like informative. I like informing people, like people who don't really know about the game and things like that. I like, you know what I mean, being able to, you know what I mean, spread my knowledge because a lot of people don't really know what they be watching.
No, it's facts, 100%. And I've seen you. You know, you interact big on Twitter, and you ain't afraid to speak the truth when it comes to sports. And for those of the people that don't know, Terrence Parsons, Micah Parsons, is his brother. So just speak on that, the interactions that you're able to have, and obviously, yes, it resulted in a brand and a show in itself, but the interactions you have with fans, like I know there's positive ones, I know there's negative ones. So how do you kind of combat and understand them both, I
definitely be a
guess?
little bit of both. I done met some pretty cool people on Twitter. Got to chop it up with them a little bit. You know what I mean, form some friendships and things like that. Yeah, I mean, as far as the negative things, I try to tune that stuff out.
Talk about your guys' avenue for your specific content that you create because I know Bryce and I, we try to always have legitimacy to what we do, both being former athletes, both being professional sports fans. Like we understand the rigorous like stuff and tasks that kind of go into all that, so you gotta have that realization into it. Kind of talk about how you tailor that content so you're just not just doing anything else like everybody else with their sports content, because I feel like there's a wash in it. There's people that understand and there's people that don't.
Well, like, are you referring to like
Just basic, just basic sports knowledge and like kind of understanding the ins and outs of how sports work.
Oh, well, I mean, shit. I've been watching sports, bro, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Heavy. Like, I've been watching football since I was 4, Cowboys since I was 4, bro. And, like, football is just like, bro, I feel like, bro, being a football fan and a Cowboys fan is like a lifestyle, bro. It's a certain lifestyle when it comes with the Cowboys stuff. And then to answer your question, bro, like I said, I've been watching this since I was a kid, and I always wanted to do something in content. So you just have to kind of like learn, see how to edit certain things, see how certain people do things, and try to make your own
100%.
unique pathway in it.
No, it is crazy. I think like when it comes to making sports content, like realistically, we all kind of have to have like that niche, like what we're
Exactly.
good at, what we're not good at, and like for Gannon and myself, it kind of tailors to more specifically for me, it's football. Gannon's got the baseball knowledge. Like we have that mixture, and we mesh well together. And I just wanted to get your guys' introduction on what the Real Talk Pod is, social media as a whole. But let's dive into the fun stuff. NFL draft is kicking off this Thursday. A lot of interesting names out there, a lot of big names, superstars, guys that could slide, guys that could push up boards, tons of quarterbacks, tons of O-linemen. kind of just talk to me about your guys' favorite prospect. I mean, we all know about Caleb Williams. We know he's a Chicago Bear. So at this point, it's damn near the Washington Commanders on the clock. So who's the favorite prospects for you guys?
Well, my favorite, I like Marvin Harrison. I think he is going to be absurd, bro. And I'm hearing the Cardinals are trying to get him, or the Chargers might try to trade up and get him. I feel like wherever he go, he's about to ball out. But on the other side, I like Cameron Kitchens, DB, Miami, beast.
Yes, sir. I think the crazy thing about Marvin Harrison is I don't think we've seen like a generational talent. Like I said this last night when we were recording. I hate throwing out the word generational, but you talk about a guy coming out of college he's already been NFL ready for the last year and a half.
Exactly.
Like this boy could have went out and balled last season in the NFL.
Exactly.
It's going to be crazy to watch him flourish. I hope he ends up in a situation where he's got a quarterback. I think Arizona and Los Angeles would be ideal spots with Herbert and Murray. But TP, What are you thinking? Who's the favorite prospect?
I don't really have a favorite prospect, but like there's definitely a bunch of guys that I like. Like you said, Marvin. I like Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is going to transition well. On the defensive side, I'm interested to see like a Chop Robinson, how he transitions.
Okay.
I'm a big Penn State guy, so I'm always following him. So I'm real interested in Chop. And I like Mercy from Texas. I think he might adjust well. I think it might take a little bit of time, but I think he's gonna be good. And really, I just been focusing on who the Cowboys can draft. I'm not for real, like, man, we could go a lot of different ways with it. So like, I'm just interested to see how they decide how they want to go about it. It's going to tell a lot towards this.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good talking point. That was a question that we asked Bryce kind of on our personal rundown of some of the draft stuff that we recorded earlier this week. I want to hear both your guys' takes. Being Cowboys fans, I want to hear, because I told Bryce in the last 4 to 5 years, man, you guys have found generational talent with Micah, with CD. Like, there's been studs there. It's obviously a different draft position than what they have in the past, being with the 20s pick now. But kind of just talk on the angle of that, kind of what you think the Cowboys are going forward, not having a lot of free agency buzz going forward. The draft is kind of the biggest thing that they have right now. Just kind of talk about that a little bit more. What do you think the Cowboys angle is with this?
Yeah, but see, I don't know why free agency isn't. That's what I'm saying though. But before I answer that, I don't know why. Like, it's so frustrated, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I hear it from Bryce, man.
It's like, why do we just keep? You say all in, and then
you're pigeonholing yourself, man.
Yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna let TP go with the draft stuff first, though.
I mean, as far as how we can go in the draft, like I said, there's a couple of different ways we can go. Like, I'm just interested to see what they prioritize, because it's going to tell a lot. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, if we're going off of last year, I feel like we need to go receiver. If we're going off of last year, we need to go receiver.
Okay.
Just basically, you know what I mean, of what we did, weren't able to do, it needs to be receiver. I still never going to be able to run the ball effectively. And no team, I keep saying offensive line. I don't mind offensive line, but I don't know no team in the NFL that needs more than 2 All-Pros on the offensive line.
I get that. I think for Dallas, it's just a situation where, like, you lose Tyron Smith, you lose Tyler Biotish at center, at left tackle. So I think kind of offsetting that, bringing in an offensive lineman, and this class is deep. But I think the problem with the O-line is I think you're going to see a run on them so early that kind of forces Dallas's hand a little bit.
Hey, hit on the free agency a little bit more, though, because Cape was starting to get fired up talking about the free agency no-show. Like, talk about that importance of that.
Bro, you just lost. You didn't do it. You lost like 20 key starters or rotational pieces, and you didn't do anything. Like, bro, you let Tyron Smith go. You don't get a replacement tackle. I guess they like who they got in-house. No Stephon Gilmore still. Jerron Kerr still. I feel like, bro, you see what the Rams did a couple years ago, how they made trades or signings to go get a ring. Do you see now the 49ers didn't win, but you see how the 49ers are trying to always get the best piece that they can. The Eagles also, they're signing people,
Yeah, I was gonna say even
rotating
Philly.
players out. They haven't won nothing either, but these teams are at least contending.
Yeah,
And then it's like insanity, bro. You're doing the same thing over and over and over, and then you're expecting a different result. You can't do that. You got to draft. You got to make trades at the deadline. You got to, you got to. Sometimes you got to give up picks for your future. You got to try to do something else because what you're doing is not working.
facts. And we talk about
Tough.
this content creation space. Like
Okay.
right now, we've seen it in the Dallas media heavy, and I know this is a big subject right now when it comes to these reporters and everyone within Dallas media outside of the content creators. Like they try to like make this excuse that it's because of the Dak contract, the future Micah contract, the future CD contract. Like you're talking about saving for these contracts, right, to be able to pay for those players. But then talk to me about how a team like Philadelphia is locking down their stars and still
Yeah.
bringing in dogs to compete. Tell me
Yeah.
how that works. It's just an excuse.
Well.
Nah,
Here's the thing, though.
nah.
Dak's cap hit is insane.
It is
This
insane, but you got to extend him to get it to go down, right?
Yeah, but he's not accepting the contract, bro.
right now, I mean, I understand why they didn't get anybody in free agency because I mean, technically, they really can't. I mean, if they would have extended our guys, then I mean, we could have been working with a little something. But like, I think not signing them is the reason why I mean, they're able to put that excuse out there of why they can't do certain
I
things.
agree.
I mean, if they signed them, we'd have I mean, an extra $20-30 million. They don't. I don't think they want to spend it because they know, what I'm saying, who's coming. Like they got Tyler Smith, they
Yeah.
got Bland, they got what I'm saying. The list goes on, and it's just like all those guys are going to be top 5, top 10 paid their position. So it's just like right now they're looking at it like they don't see how they're going to be able to do it. Me personally, I said that you can sign those guys, and you're still going to have that 2 to 3 year window where you can sign a guy or two that's going to make an impact for you. And it's just like they don't want to play with the cap like these other teams are trying to play with the cap. Because they are right. I mean, they are technically right because in about 3-4 years, we're going to have to start letting guys go.
Yep.
I get that.
That's why I'm like the window is like now to 2 years. Cause,
But they already let guys go, though.
I mean, they're letting guys go, but I'm saying they're gonna have to let more guys go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once
Yeah.
they have $200 million cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Gannon, what's
it's
your
gonna
thoughts
get-
as
it's gonna
an
get
outsider?
wicked. It's gonna get wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is. It's going to get crazy. But, Gannon, I want to hear your perspective because you talk about being a Packers fan and all three of us being a Cowboys fan. Like, what's your perspective from an outsider looking into the Cowboys? I mean, we've had our talks, but I'm curious.
Yeah, because with the Packers, they haven't been a big free agency team over my years growing up. Has kind of been an issue with Aaron Rodgers getting different type of weapons in there. It's tough paying a quarterback with that type of money, but obviously you got to have to do it because of the discrepancy with the quarterback position across the NFL landscape. But like what he was saying with the cap stuff, you're still going to be having those issues come 2 to 3 years from now. So I don't really see the point of not extending them now and just getting it done with and kind of going on and having your glue guys there because those are the pillars. You're not having those guys be the face of the franchise if you're not extending them right now. So what's the difference about it? But like back to Cave's point, like what's the difference of the formula when it's not working from before? You're going to keep doing the same things over and over and running into the ground for what? Like, that's what I don't understand with Jerry because Jerry's bold and kind of the philosophy with the Cowboys where we want to be kind of on this pedestal, but then be on the forefront of doing multiple things to make your organizational better. And those are kind of the headbutting things that I don't get. Kind of, yeah. Let's hear it.
About to say Jerry's not in control no more.
No, it's Steve.
Yeah, it's Steve, it's
Jerry gonna sell hope, bro. Jerry gonna do something. Jerry gonna sell hope. Like
it's just it's just like what are you?
Jerry would have went and got D. Henry. I know that for a fact. He would
If it was Jerry, yeah.
like that. Yeah, he would have
Yeah.
he would have made a splash like that because he knows, like, what I'm saying, we're trying to win at the end of the day. Steven, I don't think he really cares about winning, honestly.
No, he a businessman.
And that's what Bryce made a point on our previous recording. Like, man, it's been 3 straight years of 12 wins, like multiple successful years. Like, there shouldn't be a whole lot of retooling mass roster wise that you need to do here. It should be a couple of veteran pieces, like bringing in a D-hand to improve the run game on certain goal line, stuff like that, to help Dak out in those situations. But I don't feel like those specific key moves are being done. Obviously, I'm not in with the business stuff and the financials of how all that works on specific things, but I still don't get it because, like Kate was saying, if the product's not working right now of not getting you any playoff production and wins, then what are you really trying to do ultimately with the organization? That's what I don't get.
I think they're at the point where
Yeah.
they're gonna blow it up. Honestly, I don't think that if Dak
The longer it goes, man, it's a ticking time bomb.
Dak doesn't get signed by the end of preseason,
It's scary.
back in Dallas.
Because that grass is going to look a lot greener on the other side with Dak when there's other teams with other money that are going to come coming his
I
way.
think they're trying to follow the league trend on the quarterback on the rookie deal because that's the only way you're going to be able to keep your team.
Yeah. But the thing is,
I think they're flirting with that possibility right now. I think
they are definitely flirting with that possibility. But my problem with that philosophy, right, is we talk about building around a team on a rookie quarterback. Then what were we doing those 2-3 seasons when Dak was on that rookie contract?
Exactly.
Why did
we could have when we first got Dak and Zeke? I said we should have a Super Bowl within 3 years.
no doubt?
And,
I mean,
we didn't do anything. So.
I mean, even back to that Green Bay game when we lost, we were down 28-3, and guess who brought us back? A rookie Dak and Zeke. We lost the game by a game-winning field goal, right?
Yeah.
Like that team was freakishly talented, and you can't tell me the next season they couldn't have just put all the chips on the table. You were paying nobody anything.
But speaking of that game, it just goes back to what we were talking about with OKC. Again, you had a whole week off.
Mm-hmm.
How are you down 18 points before you blink? Like, oh my goodness, bro.
I get that. 100%.
So frustrating. And that was so long ago.
100%.
Jared Cook special.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, you shouldn't be having to play from down 18 in 2 minutes. Bro. Come on, bro.
In your own business.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I want to touch on, like, kind of transition a little bit. What is your guys' across the league? What's your favorite NFL offseason move that you've seen so far? Whether it's a trade, a signing, or even if you can't think on the spot of something that you've liked, what is something that you would like to see?
Okay, well, you're talking about across the whole league.
Whole league.
My favorite thing was Keenan Allen to the Bears.
Okay.
Because they're trying everything. At the time, Justin Fields was still there, and I actually thought they was going to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, regardless, they're trying everything they can to maximize this window with this rookie deal. And Keenan Allen is a baller. I was so happy for them when they got that.
How about you, TP?
I don't know if I have a favorite move. I did like D. Henry to the.
That was a good one.
The end of the Ravens was tough.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
I was kind of like for the last couple of years, I was definitely speaking Saquon into existence. Like I was hoping that was the place he went. I felt like him alone would have been great. I would have liked to see Justin in Atlanta. I don't know why they paid Kirk Cousins all that money. And yeah, that was pretty much what I wanted to see. I didn't really care for what happened this offseason. Like Saquon to the Eagles pissed me off.
Yeah. That was rough.
And then they traded Hassan Reddick. I thought that was crazy. But yeah, I feel like the Eagles didn't get better. I feel like they're kind of still in that same place. So like I'm really banking on that, and I'm banking on that the Redskins don't get a good quarterback.
I'm hoping they take the wrong one. Who's the right one?
They take the wrong one. I hope they take the wrong one.
Who's the right one though? Like between Drake May and Jaden Daniels, which is the right one and which is the wrong one?
For who?
I feel like
for Washington.
Pick is gonna be personally, I feel like that's the safe pick. But I mean, I like Jaden Daniels. I feel like he's gonna be good. It's just like Penix injury concerns.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't really like any quarterback in the class. I feel like they're all just like 2021. I feel like I don't really know. I mean, I like Trevor Lawrence a little bit, but like, and I like Justin Fields too. I feel like he was going to be the best one. I feel like Chicago.
So you're not that high on Caleb Williams then?
I feel like right team, and I feel like the Bears isn't going to be the right team. I mean, I'm glad that they did grab some weapons and things like that, but I'm not
What,
really high on the coach.
bro?
I'm not high on
What?
the coach. I'm not really high on the coach. And, I feel like the coach is terrible.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, the scary thing is like Chicago picking
They
at
got
9
weapons.
too.
Like, I'm glad they got weapons, but what I'm saying is like,
TP, you said the Bears ain't the right team.
I mean, no, not after what I just seen them do. Justin, no, I don't think that's the right
They've
team.
done that to a lot of people's careers.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's
Oh, you got me
the right team
there.
at all. You know what I'm saying? That's
You
why.
got me there.
He walked right into that one.
Yeah, he got me there.
Chicago, I mean, it's a good city. Like, I mean, they do have a decent team. I mean, good defense. I mean, they got pieces. It's just like I don't think the head coach is the guy. And when they kept the head coach, I was real puzzled. Like, you
Yeah.
just saw him ruin a whole quarterback. You going to go trust him with the number 1 draft pick?
We were talking about that last night on our show. Like, I brought it up. I'm like, so you're moving on from Fields, but I said if you knew you were doing that, what was the point of bringing back a coach? Like you said, like you just talked about. Well, and first off, on top of that, it's a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
He's not. I mean, Eberflus started in Dallas, linebacker coach. Then he's in Indy. Like he's been at linebacker defense as a whole. Like that's what he's good at. And when it comes to offense, when you would think when you're bringing in a guy like Caleb Williams, who's taken college football by storm the last few years, that you would want some sort of offensive minded coach. And I think the Bears are just terrified of what it would be like to go back to a head coach, offensive minded head coach, and get a repeat of a Matt Nagy situation.
But the only reason that they're really leaving him and bringing him on is because of their run their last 2 months of the season. And like Carter or other guy who hops on the pod at times who's a Bears fan, he's saying like the teams that they were beating down that stretch really wasn't good football teams. So you're going off of that momentum with a coach with guys that are kind of playing for a job just to bring him in for a head coach. Yeah, I agree with you, Bryce. It doesn't make sense. You're in a clear ship with a whole new quarterback, a whole new organization. Why don't you do it from top to bottom? Like that's what I don't understand with Poles and that decision there. If you really want to be a new face and new improved Bears, then you get a whole new coaching staff in there instead of half and half shit. In my opinion,
and then you
I agree.
That the whole team and the whole city wanted. Everybody wanted Justin. I don't understand it.
It is crazy because like I've never seen.
Oh yeah, Chicago was torn from that.
And that's how Chicago is. Like we're two Illinois guys. Like growing up home, like that's our home is Illinois, the Chicago area. And like I don't think I've ever seen like a Chicago sports figure, where like the entire city was so rallied behind him, like and wanted to see him stay on that team. Like I don't think I've seen that in Chicago. I mean, you talk about the World Series run they had, but
the right coach and the right weapons around him, he can make all the throws. He's as electrifying as it gets when it comes to running the ball. I don't understand what he's doing with somebody like that. You just get a coach.
But like we talked about, what does it do? It resets the quarterback clock. Contract time.
Yeah.
Man, whatever. I feel like, bro, that's bogus.
I mean, yeah, you'd have to pay him in like 2 years, but at the end of the day, like if he's the guy, you're gonna pay the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I felt like they should have gave him that gear with the Keelan Allen and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Robert Bowers or like a Marvin Harrison. And then you know what I mean, you're talking about something. You can even trade back in the draft, get some more capital. There was a bunch of things they could have won if they kept Justin.
Well, on top of that, think about the haul that you were going to get from trading that number 1 pick too.
Exactly.
So then you're able to draft Marvin Harrison. So it's Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Finally give him a roster to contend with.
Yeah.
And then you get rid of him.
I personally am okay.
I still think Caleb Williams is still the right move.
I think he's gonna be a stud.
I think Caleb's gonna be good.
He was better than Justin Fields coming out of college, so I didn't really get the hype. Honestly, I watched Justin Fields. I saw what he was able to do. I seen what Caleb Williams was able to do, but like, I feel like he didn't like. There's no quarterback in this class besides JJ McCarthy that actually won anything.
Yeah.
Did JJ win anything though, or was it
exactly? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's should take like you know what I'm saying? Like even like your generational talents. That's what everybody likes to call them. Your generational talent.
Yeah.
Look who Cam.
They don't lose.
Cam Newton. He didn't have anybody on his team for real. He won one.
And they won.
You know what I'm saying? Like It's just levels. I just didn't understand the height with him.
Well, I think too that's some of the recency bias with Jaden Daniels versus Drake May with that discussion with his momentum that he had at LSU this year, winning the Heisman, being that dude, and kind of the up and down play with North Carolina. But I still don't know if that totally just tells you what the quarterback play is, but that kind of also tells you why Jaden Daniels probably is going to go to, in my opinion, over Drake May. If there's better success there at UNC, but I still think Drake May is a really good talent because I still think there's a limelight over him from the Mitchell Trubisky days that aren't really helping him much at all.
I just think who you play with matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who you play with is going to make you look better. You know
And that's why Justin Fields is going to look a hell of a lot better under Mike Tomlin.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that
that's a weird dynamic with him and Russ.
And, I think he's going to be the starter next year.
You think it's going to take a certain amount of games?
How long do you think that takes?
A season.
Either I'm about to say, depending on how their season goes. If it goes like how it was going this past season, it'll be a lot sooner than you think.
Yeah. I think it's 5 to 7 games. I mean, I think it's all dependent upon what we see week 1, week 2, but I just don't see Russ. I mean, what have we seen from Russell Wilson the past 3
say
seasons?
That. Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, Justin's the electrifying quarterback. If there's nothing there, what is he going to do? He's going to make a play.
Yeah, and they're going to want to see what they have and let him play because if Russ starts throwing in the bag and they already know what they got with him, why waste the time with him? You still got time with Justin to make it work.
Well, and the crazy thing, you're paying them both pennies on the dime. Like, you're paying them. They're both completely cheap. Like, in reality, you can afford to bench either or and kind of almost piggyback off of each other throughout the season. Like, if Russ is hot for a 3 to 4 game stretch and say Pittsburgh really wants to win football games, if Russ is hot, let him cook. If he starts slowing down a little bit, you can see what Fields can bring in and then just kind of let him fight it out throughout the season, I think is almost the best route to go about it. But that's an interesting, like, what Pittsburgh's done over there is very interesting. And Tomlin's the right coach to have if you're trying to solve the quarterback position. But
I was mad he went to Pittsburgh because I'm like, he's not even going to play for real.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was like, but that's the perfect one to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect one.
Perfect place to develop him. I mean, like you talked about Atlanta. Like, he would have, I mean, he's the guy right away. It would have been tough. And talk about the weapons he's given right away.
What I'm saying. Like,
you would have been back home, man.
Would have been able to do something. I was about to say right back home. I feel like that would give him all the momentum.
Kyle Pitts would have been a dog again. It's a shame.
Man, like,
well, he's still gonna get used. He's still gonna get used.
I think I'm about to say if Kirk Cousins come back and be who he was, he's definitely gonna get used.
Oh yeah.
Kirk Cousins is, you know what I mean, he's a smart man. I can't believe he still want to play football.
Yeah, when you see that 9 figs coming in, he's gonna want to keep playing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like if y'all watch the quarterback, you know what I
mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I was like, does he really want to play football? Like,
yeah,
for real. Like the way he had to go through his week and like how he was talking about like can barely walk. I'm like, and you taking those hits still? Nah, you got paid. You got a lot of money over there, Kirk.
I want to ask you a little. You talk about like post game stuff. I'm curious. So you talk about Kirk Cousins, like watching quarterback and kind of seeing that post game. Like, what has it been like for you? I mean, obviously being the brother of an NFL player. Yeah, like seeing him post game.
The first hand, like, yeah, he'd be sore. Yeah,
oh yeah,
like, that's no joke. Like, that's really no joke. He gets massages before games and all that. Like, that's like one of those things that like you're not gonna be able to avoid, especially you know what I mean when he plays on the line. That was probably the biggest difference from like any other time that he had, like especially his rookie year. His rookie year is probably the most healthy season he's had because he was playing off the ball and not on the ball all the time. You know, I mean, it's just a bigger difference. Definitely a lot more collisions. You're getting double, triple team. And you know what I mean? The incidental stuff, like, you know what I mean? People falling on you, knees and helmets hitting you all the time and stuff.
Oh, like it is like a mini car accident. Like when you're involved in like people don't. And like, I mean, I played high school ball and obviously it's nothing compared, but even just like the collisions that happen in the sport in general.
I tell people that all the time. They'd be like, you didn't want to play in the NFL? I was like, yeah, I wanted to play, but like once you like start getting level to level, you start realizing, yo, like what hurts? Like for real.
No, and over time
like,
too, it's
at
like
the end of the day, like I'm a physical person. Like in high school, yeah, it was fun. I like hitting. I like
Yeah.
being hit. You know what I mean? That was fun. You know what I mean? Some stuff hurt, but it was like, you know what I'm saying? Get up, bounce, shake that off. College, it was like, oh, okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this joint. Ugh.
Where'd
Yeah,
you
so
play?
it's
You
just
play
like
college ball? Where'd you
I played a
play?
little. Yeah, I played a little JUCO. And like, you know what I mean? Like it was still fun then too. It's just but like, you know what I mean, when you're going up against bigger guys, you know what I mean, you're not getting hit the same as high school, you know what I mean? Those guys are
Yeah.
lifting weights, they're training. Yeah. They're trying to put you on the highlight reel. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it get ugly. I got depleted a couple times. For real. And those no lookers be the worst for real. Like the ones
Oh,
that
Yeah,
you
just
get
bro.
ear hold. Yeah, you get ear hold, and you're
mm-hmm.
not
The
expecting
ones
it,
you
bro.
don't
It's
see coming, it's just like
you get up and you're
that's
like,
all.
damn, like looking around, you see stars and stuff. You're like, what is going
Mm-hmm.
on? You realize, oh, yeah, probably
Yep.
concussed, but
Yeah,
keep
like
going.
just hitting somebody, like you know, what I mean, you separate a shoulder, stinger,
Mm-hmm.
break a helmet, like it'd be crazy. Like, well, yeah, I mean,
That
it's
is the
just you know,
crazy
what I mean, when
thing.
you love the game, you know, what I mean, you don't even mind it. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you don't even feel it in the game; you feel it after the game. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that be fun.
And it's
I even
like damn near
respect
like,
basketball players. Like, if you play past 30, I don't know how, because it's just like I play a couple games of pickup and I feel it. So like 7 game series, man, like I'd be like, yo, like y'all really gotta respect that because yeah, I mean it's hard to do it at a high level like that when you're feeling it like that, and you know what I'm saying. So I tell people like, you know what I mean, you gotta watch and be respectful of the players. You know what I mean, because yeah, I mean they might have a bad game here and there, but like you don't know what that person's really going through. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm-hmm.
really,
Yeah.
really going through.
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to ask you about that because we talk about the social media interactions. All four of us are in the content creation space. We interact with people on Twitter, on Instagram. What has it been like? Like, I guess for you guys specifically, what do you notice the most about those negative fans that go on there and attack players? Like, how do we find a way as creators to move away from that and inspire people to realize like that these athletes are humans, just like you and I. Like, how do we inspire people to get away from that? I know it's always going to be present. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. But, like, how do we combat it as creators?
Man, you could try to
All
point it out, bro.
I'm about
You
to
could
say
try to
like
point
all
it out,
people.
film or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because
But
a lot
like,
of people are really stuck in their ways or really stuck on
exactly,
what they know. So like, you know what I mean,
exactly.
and that's like when I debate with people on Twitter. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean, I'm giving you real facts about situations, and you're telling me that like I'm wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's just like, okay, there's no way you could have played football before. There's just no way. The things that you're saying, there's just no way in real time you've tried to do what I'm trying to explain. Like there's just no way because it's just like you don't when you haven't been in that situation, you're never going to be able to appreciate, you know what I mean, what that person is really going through. And you know what I mean? I feel like unless, you know what I mean, you're unless you know someone who's going through it, seen it firsthand, or like you know what I mean, actually been through it, I feel like there's just no way for you to fully comprehend and grasp what you're seeing and what you know what I mean, what's going on for real. Because you know what I mean, you see it in the media, like the guys, you know what I mean, you could tell who really played and who, you know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean. So it's
Skip
just like,
Bayless?
man, like you can just
Oh,
tell, you know what I mean? You can just tell who really played and you know what I mean, who really, you know what I mean, been in these situations. And that's why, you know what I mean, a lot of those guys on ESPN they're going bye bye because yeah, at the end of the day, you really don't know what you're talking about.
Facts.
And a lot of these people, you know what I mean, who really have the negative things to say, watch these people that I'm talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, uh no, Dan Orlovsky. I like Dan as a person, but when it comes to football takes, I'd be like, bro, there's just no way that you played football at the high level that you played football at, and these are some of the things that you're saying. Like, it'd be like you have a personal vendetta against some of these people because it's just there's just no way. Like his hate on
As,
Dak, I never understood it. Um, and then his love for Josh Allen, I don't understand that either. So like, it just I'd be feeling like, you know, what I mean, if you really like want to play or like watch football at a high level when you're not taking those. You're not trying to actually really learn. You're just stuck in what your lost cause for real. Honestly, like me personally, I try to keep an open mind and like, you know what I mean, hear your argument. You know what I mean? If you making sense, I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, you make perfect sense. But did you think about it this way? You know what I'm saying? So
No,
it
that's a
all
good
depends
point.
on the person.
I think the best way when you said it your first couple words was they're stuck in their ways, and those ways aren't going to change going forward, which is
Nah.
regardless of the person. That's what a lot of people are in their way. But I want to kick it back. We got the draft coming up in a few nights. There's been a few big trades over the last couple of years. I remember the A.J. Brown was the most recent one with a big-time NFL guy getting moved on draft night. I remember Mike Vrabel's reaction in the draft room. He was pissed off by the move. There's been a little bit of buzz about Brandon Ayuk kind of going somewhere on draft night. Do you guys see any moves, one of you two maybe seeing in the first round, something coming up with an NFL guy getting moved for a draft pick? Because we haven't really talked about that kind of, I feel like, in the media a whole lot with like an NFL guy getting moved currently on a roster. What do you guys see on come draft night with that?
I don't know, bro. I feel like I don't know if a player's going to get moved. I can see people trading up and down, but I
Yeah.
don't really have a player in
They're
mind.
usually going to be involved with that sometimes. I mean, I don't really know because
Yeah.
they talking about they want to trade AJ. Well, I don't know if they want to trade AJ Brown again, but yeah, I mean that's on the rumor mill. You know what I'm saying? I know Buda Bigger wanted to trade for a long time, so you never know if he want to stay. It all depends for real. Yeah, I mean, who wants to move up and who wants to move down? I feel like, but me personally, if you want to move up, I don't think people usually move up to take quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't think there's a quarterback worth really moving up to take. So I don't know.
Probably not. I don't think there is, but I think there's.
But there are going to be people because they're
People get
desperate.
greedy. People get so damn greedy, and
There'll be
like
5 of them gone in the first round, bro.
Minnesota's going to move up for McCarthy. If it
For
ain't
sure.
McCarthy, they're going to move up for May or Daniels if the opportunity's there, and they say they really
They
want to
don't
make
have
the
to
jump.
move. I feel like they don't have to move up for any of those guys.
Yeah, any of them.
I get
They can
that. I
stay
do.
right there.
If not get in the top 5 for both of them.
Yeah.
And then you got a team like the Raiders. I mean, they're probably. I mean, the rumor is they're looking at Penix Jr. So I mean,
Problem
that's
is they just don't have some more draft capital to move up compared to the
yeah.
Vikings.
Well, the
True.
Vikings got all the ammo they need.
Yeah.
Like if they
Yes,
want to
they
go
do.
get somebody, they can get it done. But we
I feel
talked
like where
about
the Raiders are at, they're going to be able to get somebody. Because I really don't see all those quarterbacks going in the first round. I just
it's gonna happen, bro.
Not the way. There's too much talent on the board to reach for.
There is. This class in the first round, like O lineman, like I said, the run on O lineman is gonna be crazy. Like
Yup.
the tackles that are in this first round.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of the names I can't even pronounce.
Yeah, I saw there's the records at 19 offensive guys before. That's going to be shattered with this first round.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hope it does end up like that because if it does, that means we get a defensive guy.
Exactly. That's how I am with the Packers pick, man. Keep having them top group 3-4 DBs keep coming down to the pack, man.
Yeah, for real. Because I mean, you spoke on it before. Like how I mean we've been getting these generational guys. Why? They've been falling to us. It's not because we wanted them or we're planning on picking them. They've just been falling.
We've got lucky.
CeeDee Lamb failed to us. Michael
Fell.
failed to us. You know
Fell.
what I'm saying? Like,
Big.
yeah, I mean Diggs. You know
Diggs
I
in the
couldn't
second.
believe he wasn't on the board off the board in the first.
I couldn't believe that either.
You know what
That
I
was
mean?
crazy.
Like, yeah, I mean, so it's just like we've had luck, honestly. Because
Yeah,
when it comes
a lot
to
of
the
it.
guy that we're actually supposed to get when he is on the board, man. Because
That's the thing.
They didn't want Micah. They wanted Pat Surtain, which would have been good too. I can't lie.
Yeah. I'm glad we got Micah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad.
was gonna say like that was. I felt like, you know what I mean, and they didn't even do their due diligence in that. You know what I mean, they didn't even know Micah was a top 3 DN in the country coming out of high school. You know what I mean, they didn't know any of that. It's just one of those things where it was just like, hey, we need you to play here this week, and it just ended up working out. That's just, you know what I mean, that's just super tough. And you know, what I mean, I feel like it changed the career low key for the better, but I still feel like in a 3-4 system.
Yeah.
Defensive MVP.
All right. You said a 3-4 system?
Yeah, I really thought he was going to go to Miami at number 4. I mean, they got Waddle. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you can't argue there. But like, I really
Mhm.
think he was going to go there for real.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting with Dallas this year because with Zimmer being there, they're talking about. I mean, Mike is probably still primarily going to be an edge rusher, but there's talks about a 3-4 system under Zimmer, like trying to make a little bit of a movement towards that. And They want bigger backers. They don't they want to shift those guys that DQ had. The safeties playing linebacker, they're probably going to shift back to safety, and you're going to see more linebackers that look like the Eric Kendricks type additions, bigger guys up the middle. So I mean, that's what you need if you really want to stop the freaking run, which has been the number one issue.
Yeah, but Bryce, here's the thing, bro. So I'm going to ask you a question. So say you do that and you become a better run stopping team. Do you think we're going to be worse in the pass?
I think we'll be fine.
Are you sure about that?
We're going to be playing it. Yeah, I mean, because, the 3-4 is a base formation. Most of the time, it's going to be a nickel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so.
And I trust our DBs.
Yeah, I don't feel as though that's not going to be an issue. My whole thing is it's going to be if we do happen to go 2 or 3-4, that's an adjustment period. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I do think it's going to be a learning curve for our defense under Zimmer to start. Like the first couple games, we might give up some points. Like it's not going to be what it was the last couple seasons. I don't think it's going to be a transitional period. But
honestly, I would stay in the 4-3. I would stay in the 4-3 base, but just have a 3-4 package. Like
okay, yeah, hey, that makes sense.
If it's me, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just have a 3-4 package. You know what I mean? If we feel like we need to mix it up, just have a 3-4 package. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get that.
Let me ask y'all this though.
The defense is too good to switch over.
I had a question about so would you guys be opposed to bringing Stephon Gilmore back since we only were able to see 2 or 3 games with the trio, him, Bland, and Diggs?
They're not gonna bring him back, unfortunately, but
they're not.
Man, I don't want to bring him back, man. Because that's what I'm saying. We was robbed, like for real.
We were robbed of that.
That would have been the best defensive trio in the league, man.
There's no, and my thing is, there's no reason not to bring him back. Like it's a cheap contract. He's a veteran guy, and you bring him in, and like you can't tell me that Stephon Gilmore didn't play a sliver of a factor in helping push Deron Bland to new heights.
Yeah,
to help push those guys to new heights.
Be in that room will tell you how much Stephon helped.
Yep.
And and I didn't even realize it until after the season when I was listening to some interviews and stuff. But like, it's crazy. He impacted guys on the offensive side of the ball too. I mean, his best friend is like Brandon Cooks, based on the conversations they've had. Like, he's a locker room guy, and that's what you need.
Brandon Cooks was the same way. Honestly, he was the same way. Them two both came in, and they were mentoring guys immediately. Like,
yeah.
That's what's so frustrating.
That was like the first thing that, like, when I first kind of had a conversation with Trey, that was one thing. The first thing Trey told me, I feel like I'm a way better fan than I was before. Just off of him, like eating right, training right, all of that. Like he just, he spread that knowledge for. I feel like, that's why you saw the Deron Bland leap for sure. And I feel like they're trying to. I feel like that's why they're not trying to bring him back. They're trying to keep him, at his number 2 out there, and bring in a slot guy. But at the end of the day, if you can have 3 corners like that, why not have 3 corners like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the thing. That's what I mean by, like, I just don't feel like they want to win. They want to win the way they want to win, not.
And it hasn't worked.
You know what I'm saying? They want to win.
When does it work? The 90s.
And that's what I be saying. Like, for you to watch that game and then go to the media and say we go as far as that goes. You clearly couldn't have been paying attention to the game. If you was paying attention to the game, I got called out for what I said, and I didn't even say anything that bad. All I said was, you know what I'm saying? There's no way everybody as a collective wants to win the Super Bowl if you want $60 million and he's willing to pay you $60 million. It just can't work like that. If you watch that game, you know that we need help on both sides of the ball and bring everybody back. So it's just like, that's why, like, I think that they're really, like, teetering on a new
little rebuild,
and we just gonna keep the team, keep the young guys, and see how it goes, because quarterbacks are gonna win championships. Teams do.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not need a top 10, top 5 quarterback to win the Super Bowl. And that's when people be like, Dak's not the guy. Dak's not the guy. I'm like, no, Dak is definitely the guy. If Dak's not the guy, nobody's the guy, because we've watched Rex Ryan make a Super Bowl. We watched, these quarterbacks that probably should have never been there. But you know what I mean, if the team's good and the coaching's good, you know what I mean, you can have a run. And I feel like at the end of the day, even what we have right now, as we come together as a collective, we can make a run. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that's just not fair to our best players. You know what I mean? Or we're saying, hey, man, I understand. You know what I mean? We don't got the great team, but like, hey, if you go out there and play the best 4 games of your life, yeah, we can go win a Super Bowl. That's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to put yourself in a position where you don't need top games every game from your best players because, you know what I mean, that's just not always the case. It doesn't always work like that.
All I got to say is, well, 2 things. First off, Jimmy Garoppolo took the 49ers to a Super Bowl. So, I mean, realistically, when you think about it, if you got studs on your football team, obviously across the board, but if you got a solid defense and you got pieces around that quarterback, shoot, I'm not high on Brock Purdy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not high on Purdy, and he's got dogs around him. Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, McCaffrey. Like, they make the moves to build around that player. Granted, he's on his rookie deal, and his rookie deal is insane considering Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, it's production.
But overall, it's like that key point in itself is you can get to the Super Bowl if your quarterback is not necessarily a middle-of-the-road guy, but above average. You can make it there. Can you win it? I don't know 100% because we're so used to seeing.
I mean, it all depends. It all depends on your team.
It does. It does. And it depends on who you're playing. If you're playing Mahomes, good luck.
Yeah, right.
That's just the tough part. I mean, it don't matter who you are.
You know what I mean? He didn't have a great Super Bowl. He had a great team win. That was a great team win. And,
Yeah, they gutted it out all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, sure. And that's why I'm just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't, you know what I mean? The team is what matters. The quarterback get the praise, but the team is what matters. Who's around the guy, that's what matters. I just don't want to see Dak go.
I don't either.
Me either.
Because I feel like, me personally, I feel like once he goes, we're just going to pay our guys and we're not going to get anybody else.
That's the scary part, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it stays the same. Yeah, everything stays the same, but you lose talent.
And that's what's going to make me be like, yeah, I don't know anymore.
Well, my thing is like, what's the alternative? Is the alternative better? No. Like, realistically, if we think about throwing it all the way back to Dak. Dak was a 4th-round pick. They got lucky. Like, we're talking about the luck in the draft. Imagine a scenario where Dak either doesn't pan out or you don't draft Dak. Say they draft Paxton Lynch, which was Jerry's guy. Think about that. Romo gets hurt. Where are the Cowboys at right now? Where are we at right now? They struck gold.
We would have been able to get one of these guys that's already in the
league. Yeah. Caleb Williams would be the guy. But
I know that's what I'm saying. Like we'd have most likely been in quarterback purgatory, like for real.
Yeah, for years, and I don't think people realize it. Like I think Gannon and ourselves for Cowboys and Packers fans, people don't realize. I mean, I think it's a little different for Green Bay because they've had
Green Bay go pick their guy early. They don't even care. They say screw the current guy. Look.
We taking J Love first round.
Yeah, you're on your way out. We're going to go ahead and draft this guy, and you know what I mean, hopefully he pan out. I feel like that was crazy. I feel like y'all wanted Aaron Rodgers to leave after that. Like
coming off back-to-back MVPs, going to draft quarterback first round.
Like
kind of crazy.
Receiver. He's like, give me somebody other than Devontae, and we can win some.
And then they got everybody once he left.
Everybody. Talk about that. Like the offensive weapons that Green Bay has, dude.
That's wild.
Talk about it, man. I want to hear about Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. Obviously, the injuries. Can he stay healthy? But the 2 tight ends, like last year, like they're building around their guy. They're building around the rookie contract, right? The newer trend we've already discussed.
I think that's been the roster turnover since Gutekunst, the new GM. Brian came in probably like 2018-ish when Rodgers was kind of the way out, man. He's done the best available. Like, he's done a full roster of things. He's redone everything. I think the one guy you point out, too, might be my favorite is Dontavian Wicks out of Virginia, man. That might be my favorite guy out of that whole young crew with Jaden Reed there. But it's weird because we haven't had that offensive weapons in my whole life with guys just having a surplus plus of different people to go about it. But it's fun to have it because now Jordan Love, all those guys are all on rookie deals. That offense, in 3 to 4 years, it might come a little scary with extensions and having to let people walk and all that. But, dude, it's so cost-effective because now we can go best available, get our defense, get more young guys, Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, like our free agent moves. They're doing everything the right way, and everybody's under the age of 28 pretty much on the whole team, which is wild.
I'm going to say, y'all the youngest team in the league, and Dallas is the second youngest team in the league, and we're talking about we're not that close. I feel like we're closer than further away, man.
No, facts. I agree. What's your guys' opinion, all three of you? This has always been a subject I think about, especially come draft week. Like, what is the most effective way to draft? Is it need, draft for need, or is it draft best player available? And if best player available is your favorite, which for me it is, and I'll explain why, is it something that you have to stick to year after year after year, or can you kind of bounce back and forth between need?
You can bounce back and forth, bro.
I feel like the best teams do both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wanna look at your roster, and you wanna go with what's gonna help you win now. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean, if you feel like your roster's okay, you can look towards the future of, you know what I mean, what it's gonna take to win. But I feel like it all depends on what type of season, you know what I mean, what you seen from the roster. You know what I mean? If you're a playoff team, I feel like you're drafting best player available. You're going to try to go, you know what I mean, you're drafting to win. If you're that team, you know what I mean, you're on the edge of the playoffs, you know what I mean, you're probably still going to be drafting, you know what I mean, right now, let's win now. And then, you know what I mean, but it all starts with a quarterback. You know what I mean? If you don't have a quarterback, if you don't have a guy, you're searching for a guy. You know what I'm saying? Until you have that guy, it's the best player available.
What you think, Gannon?
No, I think it really depends on, because I think a lot of people can go best player available, especially in the first couple of rounds, just off the pure talent. But I think it's the teams that can make their hay in that 3rd to 6th, 3rd to 7th round of going off team needs. And I think those are the teams why Belichick was so good, being the GM head coach for years with the Patriots. They could find their guys in that 3rd, 4th, 5th round. They're obviously best available because obviously talent-wise they got to be for them to pick, but it was team needs based. And I think that's the biggest thing why Goot, the GM with the Packers, has been so successful, because he stick to being the team-based needs for his draft approach. Obviously, early on, if there's somebody there you want to go get, like if CeeDee Lamb falls to you like he did 3-4 years ago, then you're going to take the best guy available early on with the draft. But going for team needs, like going off stuff like, again, we're talking J Love. Like you're trading up to the 1st round taking J Love from Utah State when you have Aaron Rodgers there. That's team need-based drafting, and look 4 to 5 years later how that's panned out. And I think that's the best way to put it when it comes down to that stuff.
Totally agree, bro.
I want to just double down on what I was saying about.
Y'all were in a position where you could look towards the future like that. You guys just came off of what, back-to-back number 1 seeds?
Yeah.
But y'all had the same curse as us, the 49ers. But I think what I'm trying to double down on when it comes to best player available, for me, it's like if you attack free agency or trades, but if you attack free agency the right way, and I don't mean that means go out and sign guys for 60 plus to $100 million contracts. If you like offset the need a little bit, so if you can offset that need, so for example, Dallas, like we probably need a wide receiver 3, right? Or we probably need a D tackle, or we probably need a linebacker. Like the Kendrick signing, does it offset the team need? Probably not. But if you add one more veteran in there, it offsets it a little bit, and it allows you to draft a little bit more based on that best player available. Because like we talk about the Micah versus Pat Surtain, like corner was probably a bigger need for Dallas. Like at that time, at that point in time, J.C. Horn, Pat Surtain, it was probably a bigger need. But realistically, I think it was. I think we were desperate for corner help.
We had Diggs.
Yeah, that was before the 11 interceptions.
Yeah, that was before.
Yeah, I'm saying that was coming off Diggs' rookie year.
And that was Diggs' rookie season. So like
we knew he was going to be good, but we didn't know how good. You know what I mean? He had a couple of splash plays.
Yeah, he showed signs.
But can you name any of the corners we had outside of Diggs that year?
Brown.
Anthony Brown.
Cooked.
Oh no, right? I know. Listen,
Chidobe Blusier. I don't think we were desperate, bro.
No, I think we were defense in the league, bro.
His
No,
back.
no. Like I'm saying, like as far as corner, of course we were the worst. We had a historically bad defense. I'm saying like corner, we had Brown,
But that's what
Diggs,
I'm
and
saying.
Awuzie.
Like the corners were getting toasted. Like
They were all
the
cooked.
quarterback had all day to throw. The cornerbacks were getting
That's what I'm
toasted.
saying.
We
Okay,
couldn't
yeah,
stop the run. It was
yeah,
bad. Like we had
That
holes everywhere.
ain't that funny how it flipped though? Like back
bro, it
then,
flipped
getting torched on passing offense, and now we're getting torched in
on a
run
run
defense.
defense.
Like
No, we was always getting torched on the run. I remember.
we have for years. We have
I
for years. It's
remember
fair.
when I gave up on our defense that year. When I gave up on our defense was when Odell took that fucking end around.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I forgot about
you
that.
can't
Right?
tell me we're not winning that game.
What was that?
Yo,
Right
we
at
was
the end of
gonna win.
half,
Yo, we
right?
was gonna win that
No, that was at the
game, bro.
end.
That was at the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were gonna win that game. We were gonna win that game. Dak carried us. We were gonna win that
Carried
game.
us.
And Odell with that end around. I said, "Oh,
Freaking Alden Smith, man. Alden Smith, make a
yeah,
tackle, bro.
yeah."
See, that's my problem. That's another issue I have with the way the front office operates in general. Like I don't have a problem with what Alden Smith did because he was successful when he first stepped on the field. But we go out. Why are we grabbing a guy who hasn't played ball in 5 years?
Hoping
Hey,
he can
because you're
make
taking a chance, bro. Because
I
listen,
get
You know what I'm
that, but
saying?
he's a starter.
he had a hot beginning of the season though.
He did, but then he wore out.
Then he wore out.
So it's like, where's the kind of offset? Like, what? How are we
Yeah,
offsetting that? He was the starting DN for the season.
yeah.
Like,
That's
I don't have an issue with the signing because I'm all for taking a chance or giving a
absolutely.
second chance to a guy. And yes, he was a great addition to the team when he first started playing. But like, my
Hmm.
problem is like, I mean, Dallas has been trendy for that for years when it comes to like bringing in these veteran presence type guys that haven't been very good in a while.
That's
Like we
true.
got like even throw it all the way back to Robert Quinn when we signed the DN Robert Quinn or traded for him, I believe,
Traded
from the
for him.
Saints. Like super cheap deal, able to get Quinn over. I don't think anyone expected what he gave us, but like
No,
it's the risk reward, and it kind of balances out. Like Dallas has hit, but
With
they
him,
also miss.
yeah, about to say they definitely hit sometimes, and
They have.
but it'd be more misses
That's what I'm
because
saying.
but
Yeah,
they're not.
that's the risk you take.
Yeah, because but like they're not going. But if they're going for the middle of the road guy,
Hmm.
we'll probably be alright. We're not going, but we're not going at C or D. We looking at all the way at F. Like you know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. It's bargain. It's bargain bin. Like
Yo,
why?
that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like
No, you're right.
we
You're
got,
100
you know what
percent
I mean?
right.
Like you know what I mean? Like we got the top half. That's the problem with our team. Like the top half and the bottom half, there's too much of a gap. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we got good guys, but like as far as a whole, bro, we just need to
It drops
we need to
off.
become wholesome. Yeah, we need to become wholesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once we get wholesome, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't need. That's what I've been saying. Like we're at the point where we don't need top guys. We just need the right guys. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
right guys. The guys that's gonna plug in and play
Hmm.
hard, buy into the system. And we need a coach that's willing to, you know what I mean, help all that, you know what I mean, come together. And when we get that, we're gonna be a dangerous team. But
For
I
sure.
agree.
it's just I just felt like last year, like they can say what they want, but I feel like I watched it, I seen it enough. I feel like we gave up on defense, man. Like I
Hmm.
just felt like we
Yeah.
gave it up. I just, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like the players just weren't bought into the system as
Gotcha.
much as they should be. It was a lot of mental, blown assignments, not doing your jobs. It wasn't like, you know what I mean, not playing hard and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, I kind of want to wrap up. We've gone about an hour here talking a variety of things. I'm sure Gannon's absolutely loved the Cowboys talk, but like just to wrap up as a whole, first off, I want to say thank you guys for hopping on here with us. But I want to ask all three of you. Thursday night's approaching. This episode will drop right prior to the draft. So just tell me one thing that you are excited to see, or just your overall thoughts of the NFL draft.
um, I'm just excited to see, you know what I mean, what we do with these first three draft picks. I
Hmm.
really, really hope that we go, you know what I mean, best player available. And, you know what I mean, just get some of these things plugged up because, you know what I mean, there's going to be that second wave of free agency. So, you know what I mean, whatever we don't feel, you know what I mean, we can always come back to. So that's why I'm really hoping we go best player available. Receiver, tackle, defensive tackle. You know what I mean? If those aren't our first 3 picks, I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
You got like a specific bold prediction? I got one that I'm gonna hate, and it's in our division. But I'll
Oh
any bold
no.
prediction?
I think Washington's gonna get a guy.
Okay.
I think they're gonna get Daniels, and I think they're gonna be able to do something. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs or anything like that, but it's gonna be a team that we're gonna have to worry about. Like, actually, have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we don't have to worry about the Eagles.
Yeah.
And if they get a quarterback, and you know what I mean, Dan Quinn's not a bad coach. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is he gonna run the defense? If he runs the defense, I feel like we're gonna be good. You know what I mean? But if he's not running the defense,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you know what I mean, Dan Quinn's a good coach. You know what I mean, he gets his guys motivated, and you know what I mean, guys want to play for him. So
Yeah.
I feel like you know what I mean, that was a win-win for him. And you know what I mean, he got our guys. He got some of our guys over there. You know what I mean? I just feel like they're a quarterback away, and it could be real messy. Real messy. But I'm not really worried about him for this year specifically. But for like the 2-3 years to come, yeah, definitely a little worried. Not gonna lie.
What you thinking,
Especially,
Kate?
you know what I mean? If
Hey, I'm just excited to see what the Bears do at 9, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
gonna be
interested to
very
see what they do.
I think they might go defense. I mean, they might go defense for real.
Yeah, I would do that.
Um,
I'm just so mad that they
I low key
freaking
want them to get
traded
Brock
Fields,
Bowers.
bro.
I low key want them to get Brock Bowers, but
Yeah.
they got Cole Kmet.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you think they would do that?
No, they got Gerald Everett too. I think
Yeah, I don't think they would do that.
Chicago's gonna sit and pick. They're gonna go with Dunze.
Or
They got to. They
Yeah.
got to.
I mean, I would trade. I feel like they would. I would trade.
You would trade it back?
I would trade it back. Yeah.
I just don't know the value there at 9 because
Yeah,
the
at
quarterbacks
9.
are going to be gone before that. I don't know who's really going to be looking to trade up.
Someone's gonna get greedy for Penix or Bo Nix. I'm telling you, they're gonna reach.
Yeah,
Someone is gonna reach.
Not Knicks, but Penix. I would reach for Penix because you know what I mean. The only concerns for him is literally the injuries. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Don't be
We know
surprised
he's a good guy.
if Seattle or the Rams look to trade up for a quarterback and reach
What
heavy.
about, I hope we. I don't want to take a quarterback in like the first like 4 rounds, but like if we could get like a.
Give me Joe Milton.
We already had. You talking about the Cowboys?
I'm about to say like a Joe Milton or like a Spencer Rattler. Man,
Yeah.
sign me
Yeah.
up. For real.
It's not
Yep.
bad. It's not bad. I want to. My bold prediction for this draft is not something that I want to see happen, but Philadelphia, the way that they are, what they do, there's going to be a player that's available for them, and they're going to have a 3-headed monster at receiver. I think they're going to get a steal of a draft, snag Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU, place him alongside Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Granted, all those guys stay in place.
Trade up either.
No, they won't. They won't. That's what I'm saying. Thomas, that's the thing for Philly is I think they can draft team need because they have holes too, and they still do even after the moves they've made. But if there's a guy available, Howie Roseman, GM, Philly, he ain't afraid to take that best player. And I think that best player available at the time will be Brian Thomas Jr. And that'll get scary. It'll get
Scary.
How about you, Gannon?
I'm just interested to see the carousel with the quarterbacks, kind of seeing how that all goes because I'm looking at Bo Nix with Denver just being a Sean Payton guy, I think, in the first round there. It's not going to be good. I just like all the talent that's going to be off the board for them, what the Packers could get with their 20-something pick. But I'm interested to see. TP said it earlier. I said it last night on another recording is Brock Bowers, man. I just want to see what offense he gets into, where he plug and plays. Like, man, the dude's an offensive game changer immediately, especially with the young guy. If you can get in somewhere, go to work, or get more of an experienced team that maybe kind of sneaks up in those early teens pick to try and get him because I think it's a weapon, somebody that's going to want to be gone off the board a little bit later than some people thought with some of the other talent. But I'm looking to see where Brock Bowers lands because that dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Put him in Cincinnati with Burrow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It just looks too good with that.
It does.
That'll get trifling.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get real nasty.
Don't be surprised though. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we see a scenario where
they were talking about guys aren't really worried about picking them. I was like, wow, he follows, man.
Mm-hmm.
End up somewhere they don't want him to end up.
Someone's going to trade up for him if he slides. Like, and in my opinion, I don't know if he'll make it past the Jets. I wouldn't be
I don't think
shocked.
so either.
Like, if the Jets decide, okay, realistically, I think the best move for the Jets is to take a right tackle. You got Tyron Smith, so then you're really protecting your quarterback. You're really Rodgers coming off the injury, older guy. I think the smart pick is offensive line, but if you want to go out and give Rodgers a weapon, I mean, Garrett Wilson, Brock Bowers, Brees Hall at running back, like you got a little something there. So it'll be interesting, but I would like to see him in Cincinnati. But I think that's all we got for tonight. I want to once again say thank you to the Real Talk Pod, King Capers, Terrence Parsons Jr. Thank you very much for hopping on here with us tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed this show, and honestly, just can't wait to see what happens with this draft. You guys
Sir, I
got any-
appreciate it. Appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. This was fun. Hey, go check out their pod, man. Some good other content going on out there, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. You know, Packers guy, I don't really want to recommend it, but we will here with the Cowboys stuff. But yeah, it's been awesome talking to you guys, man. It's good just to chop some ball, get some other fresh faces on here, so it's just not Bryce and I pissing each other off the whole time.
Like, let me know, bro. I'll come on anytime.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, this was fun. Then we can even get J-Tuck in here and get a little one going with him, too.
We got to, bro. We got to.
J-Tuck's that guy, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all, and we will see you next time.